What's up, you guys? I'm TechSource, and today is quite possibly the most exciting day of my life because today. I didn't mean it like that.
What?
I meant exciting as in I'm upgrading my setup. What's happening, guys? I'm TechSource, and today is quite possibly the second most exciting day of my life because today I'm upgrading my setup. You know, it's been a while since I've done any upgrades to it, and you know what? I think it's time I give myself a setup makeover. So as you guys can see, I have all the gear scattered across my room, and I'll go over each one as I add it to my setup and my reasoning behind the choices, of course. But first, let me show you my current setup. I know, it's atrocious. Before you guys roast me in the comment section, I have an explanation. Ever since I took apart my PC, my setup kind of fell apart since I was waiting to rebuild my PC and redo my setup afterwards. But the problem is, I can't build my PC yet because Nvidia hasn't released their new graphics cards. So my setup has been in limbo for over 9 months now. But I've decided I'm done waiting, and today I'm going to begin upgrading my setup. As you guys can see, I'm using the white PC that I recently built on the channel temporarily until I can build my dream gaming PC later this year. If you guys missed the video, definitely check it out. It's a gorgeous all-white build rocking the i9-10900K, which is a 10-core, 20-thread processor that I overclocked to 5.2 gigahertz. We got 32 gigabytes of RAM, which I also overclocked to 4.1 megahertz, and the beautiful Asus Strix RTX 2080 Super White Edition, which honestly I feel like completes the build. This will keep me satisfied until Nvidia launches their 3000 series GPUs in Q4. Everything else aside from the peripherals are the same as before. Now the keyboard I'm using is the KeyCool SP84, which is a mechanical keyboard with PBT side printed keycaps, and it's got the cherry red switches. I did review it on the channel, so if you guys want to check it out, I'll drop a link to it below. And then the mouse I recently picked up a few months ago is the glorious Model D. I got it in matte white instead of gloss, and then finally a generic extended mouse pad, which honestly matches the color scheme. I just wish this ugly logo over here wasn't there. But overall, I'm really loving the design of the mouse pad. I'll go over the rest of the gear as I start replacing things. Actually, what the hell is this doing here? Get the hell out of here. Alright guys, are you now ready to see my cable management? Here we go. Yep, that is my cable management, ladies and gentlemen. Let the roasting begin. Ever since I took apart the PC, my setup fell apart. Like I said, quite literally fell apart. Even the channel raceway fell down. So yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. So I want you guys to take one final look at everything. I will show you guys a before and after once everything is done. And let me tell you, it is going to be an epic transformation. Now that the desk is squeaky clean, the first thing I'm gonna replace is that monitor. I've been using this 38-inch ultra-wide curved display for almost 2 years now. It's got a 3840 by 1600 resolution, and it's great for editing, don't get me wrong, but it's not so great when it comes to gaming. It's only capped at 75 Hertz. So when I get on Modern Warfare or Valorant, this is actually what I game on. I bring out the budget Biotech curved monitor, which has 144 Hertz refresh rate. So yeah, I've been using this temporarily to game on, but it changes today because I'm going with a dual monitor setup. The ultrawide is getting replaced by its bigger brother. This is the new version, the 38W995C. It's also a 38-inch, but with better specs. It's got HDR support, a nano IPS panel, Thunderbolt 3, NVIDIA G-Sync, and the best part is, it has a 144 Hertz refresh rate. So that will be mostly used for editing videos, whereas the second display, which is a 27-inch 240 Hz 1080p monitor, will be used mostly for gaming. This is what I mean by I want to get the best of both worlds. Obviously I need an ultra-wide for work, but I need a regular 16:9 monitor for competitive gaming. I'm not saying I'm a professional or anything, but when I'm playing Call of Duty or Valorant or whatever it is, I like to be very competitive, and unfortunately I can't do that on an ultra-wide. be mounting both monitors to the wall using this Amazon Basics monitor arm. So I'm gonna have to take these off as well. Come on, you bastard. So this is gonna be the most important part of building this setup. Everything is gonna revolve around these two displays, not only for functionality, but aesthetically as well. So I'm gonna have the ultra-wide mounted on the bottom somehow, and the 27-inch is gonna be mounted on the top. So I need to mount both of these displays in a way where I can bring down the 27-inch right in front of the ultra-wide whenever I need to game. First thing I'm gonna do actually is cover up this bottom bezel with some white skins. So I do have some vinyl laying around. Let me see what matches the desk better. All right, so I'm gonna go with this, and I'm basically just gonna skin this bottom bezel over here across the monitor. And just like that, we are done skinning the bottom bezel of the monitor. And it makes sense with our color scheme because obviously majority of it is white with red accents. So to me, it looks, you know, much cleaner than before. Alright, so the ultrawide is finally mounted. As you guys can see, it is kind of at a 45-degree angle, and that is so I can mount the 27-inch right on top and kind of just have it at eye level. You know, I don't want to look too high up there for the second monitor, and also I want to be able to bring the monitor down in front of the ultrawide when I'm gaming on it. So that is pretty much the setup that I'm going for. It might not make a lot of sense right now, but you'll see what I'm talking about at the end of the video. Alright, so time to mount the second monitor. So we're gonna hook up the same mount to it. So this monitor is gonna be the hardest one to mount because not only does it have to be perfectly centered right above the ultrawide, but it's gonna have to be in the perfect spot where I can pull it out and put it in front of the ultrawide when I'm gonna be gaming on it. So that's the tricky part. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do a dual stack monitor setup. So both monitors are finally stacked perfectly in the center, might I add. I think I'm gonna go ahead and skin the top bezel as well, just so there's consistency with the bottom ultrawide. Alright, let's bring back the peripherals. I think what I'm gonna do is drill a hole in the desk for the keyboard wire. As much as I love this custom cable, and it looks dope, don't get me wrong, but honestly I prefer more of a wireless minimalistic look. So the cool thing about this keyboard is that the connection is right in the center, so all I have to do is just run the cable straight down. So the cable's not gonna be visible. It's gonna look like a wireless keyboard at the end. Same thing with the mouse. I'm gonna have to run the cable underneath the keyboard and through the desk for a much cleaner look. So I already have a hole drilled in the desk from the previous keyboard, so all I gotta do is make a slit on the actual mouse pad. Here goes the USB-C. And then the mouse. A quick tip for you guys, if you're running the mouse cable underneath the keyboard, always make sure to leave enough slack. That way you can move around the mouse freely. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave a little bit of slack. There we go. So there it is. You can't even tell that this is a wired keyboard. And then you got plenty of slack for the mouse, so peripherals are pretty much set. Alright guys, next thing I want to do is mount a wall shelf on the top monitor. As a lot of you know, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Super, and I've been collecting these figurines or collectibles this past year or so, and just been storing them in the closet because I've had no place to really display them or show them off until today. I picked up this long white wall shelf from Wayfair, and I think it's going to look really dope on the top monitor. Oh man, that is looking so damn good. The more I progress upgrading my setup, the more I get excited. But so far, I am loving the way this is looking. All right, next thing I want to do is kind of upgrade my audio gear. So my headset and speakers are staying the same because even till now, I can't find any speakers out there that sound better than these and also look as good as the Luna Eclipse from Edifiers. These are the E25 HD version, and honestly, I love the sound quality of these. Really clear highs, packs a nice punch. Overall, really solid speakers that I use mostly for watching videos, movies, and listening to music. And then we got my headphones over here in the corner, the Sennheiser HD 800s, which have been custom painted by Colorware to match my color scheme. These are absolutely amazing headphones. I haven't come across any other headphones that come near this quality. I mostly use them to monitor audio while I'm editing videos, but I also use them while gaming because these pick up every possible sound in game. I can hear their footsteps, I can hear them reloading their guns, I can even hear their heartbeat on the opposite side of the wall. That's how amazing these headphones are, and if anyone owns a pair of these, you can probably vouch for that in the comment section. They're currently sitting on Drogon, which is a dragon statue I picked up on some website. And it actually adds a bit of personality to this setup as well because I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones, and this not only doubles as a headphone hanger, but it also kind of integrates my love for Game of Thrones in my setup as well. So in terms of audio interface, I had the headphones hooked up to this, the Behringer Euphoria UM2. It is not the best audio interface out there. Honestly, it's kind of like driving a Lamborghini in LA. You know, you're stuck in traffic. You're not really taking advantage of all that horsepower. Or in PC terms, let's say you're combining an i3 with an RTX 2080 Ti. It's just, you're bottlenecking the performance. So with this, I wasn't really taking advantage of what the headphones have to offer. So I did pick up some new audio gear. So I recently picked up the EFI or iFi Micro based on a recommendation. And this is a really solid DAC and amp, and it's gonna give me the ability to take advantage of the amazing soundstage from those headphones. I'm also going to replace my cheap $50 budget microphone that I picked up temporarily on Amazon with the one and only Shure SM7B. I stream pretty consistently on my Discord on weekend nights, but I do want to eventually open up a Twitch account and stream there more consistently. So that is why I picked up this microphone specifically, and I'm going to pair it with the Go XLR Mini, which is an awesome audio interface. For some reason, this was sold out everywhere. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's a new item or something, but I got lucky and I picked up the last one from Adorama. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Oh, this is tinier than I thought. Okay. So I left the figurines inside the boxes and I kind of just put it on the wall shelf for now to kind of get an idea of how tall they're gonna be, because I'm gonna be adding a bunch of nanoleaf panels around it. I'm not sure exactly what pattern I'm gonna go with for now, but I definitely wanna use up all 25 of the nanoleaf panels that I got laying around. So I decided to keep the audio interface on the right side of the setup. That way it's within arm's reach, because I do need quick access to the volume levels for the microphone, chat, music, and system. So this is currently the best placement in my setup. I will be doing some cable management, of course, for the wires in the back. I do have a white cable grommet, which I'll be drilling a hole for in the next episode, just to kind of tidy up the wires in the back, of course. And finally, I do need something to balance that on the opposite side of the setup, and that is why I'm going with a simple aluminum iPhone stand. Obviously, I use my phone constantly every single day, and I need something to prop it up as well so I can kind of see notifications as they appear. I wish I can use a wireless charger with this phone, but unfortunately, because of how bulky this wallet case is, I can't do that. So that's why I'm going with a traditional phone stand, but I will be drilling a hole in the back to run a charging cable through. So I'm actually gonna work on that right now. So first thing I'm gonna do is add some double-sided tape on the bottom. That way it doesn't slip and slide by accident. So it should be good enough. I'm gonna mark the hole where I'm gonna drill. Right here is good. And then I'm going to use these magnetic cable clips to secure the cable to the stand. That way it doesn't get lost or move around. And because it's magnetic, I can easily disconnect and connect this whenever I want. So I already drilled a hole behind the stand. So I'm going to run the cable from the bottom. And then I'm going to attach the cable to the cable clip, lock it in place, and attach it to the back of the stand. That way it's kind of hidden from view. So now if I want to charge my phone, all I got to do is pull the cable, plug it in, and we're good to go. Alright guys, so here's what my setup looks like so far. Super happy with how everything is coming together. Everything I envisioned is coming to life slowly but surely. But I'm not gonna lie, at first the position of the ultra-wide monitor was weird to me. Like my eyes couldn't adjust to the angle. It wasn't comfortable at all. But after a couple hours of using it, I would say my eyes adjusted to a point where it doesn't bother me at all. For those wondering why I tilted the monitor like that, well, it's so I can make room for the top monitor. I didn't want the top display to be that high up there where I would need to tilt my whole head up just to view it. I'm also loving my new ultra-wide monitor. The 144 Hz refresh rate just adds to my overall workflow by giving me more of a fluid experience. Everything just feels more snappy. It's also G-Sync and FreeSync compatible, so my games don't experience any tearing. However, if I want to play a bit more seriously, that's when the big guns come out. I pulled down the 240 Hz in front of the ultra-wide to get a better viewing angle to clap those cheeks. You can't have work without play, like I always say, and with this new monitor layout, I get to have the best of both worlds. Alright guys, I'm going to end part 1 over here. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done to complete this setup. I still have to find a good placement for my boom arm and microphone. I'm also going to add a bunch of LED lighting behind the monitors and the desk, and I have to come up with a cool design with the nanoleaf panels and lots of cable management. But I promise to you guys, once it's all done, it's going to look amazing. So with that said, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, consider leaving a like and make sure you subscribe with notifications on because you don't want to miss the finale. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next one.